Good evening. My name is Paul, and you guys are now looking at a fragment of a sarcophagus entitled Fragment of a Sarcophagus. Now, this was obtained by the Art Institute in 1983, and we don't know, actually, who carved the sarcophagus. We do know, however, that it was made between 240 and 250 AD in the Common Era. Again, we know that for a few reasons. One, sort of because of carbon dating and stuff like that. But then also just because of the time it was created. And when I saw this, I thought, well, this is strange. If this was created in the Roman Empire, which it was, most likely in the Aegean Peninsula, around there, why would they be making a sarcophagus? I'm thinking the Romans believe in cremation. They believe in burning their dead. So why would they even need a sarcophagus to put a corpse in? Well, it turns out Roman burial practices changed over time, either by familial values or just popular trend. But at this point, in 250, 250 years after the birth of Jesus Christ, Christianity is beginning to take hold in the Roman Empire, although this was made at a time of Christian persecution. But by 312, if you recall, Constantine converts the Roman Empire's national or imperial religion, I should say, to Christianity. And the practice of inhumation or burying your dead becomes common throughout the empire. But in 250, it's also common in many places, which is why we get this sarcophagus right here. So, let's talk about some people in the sarcophagus, because that's mostly what we're going to spend time on here. In the middle, we have the mythological hero Meleager. Now, he comes from the island of Calydon, and his father is King Oeneus of Caledonia. And they are celebrating here, in this, it's a little hard to tell now, but they're in a party, and they are celebrating in anticipation of the hunt for the Caledonian boar, which is this big, gross boar that Artemis sent down to ravage the lands of Caledonia after Meleager's father, King Oeneus, forgot to sacrifice to Artemis during the time of the harvest. So the boar comes down, ravages the area, and Oeneus decides, well, we have to do something about this, so they essentially sends out a message for all the great hunters of the land to come and try to kill the boar. And conveniently, to Meleager's right here, is the hero Heracles, which the Romans called Hercules, where we get our modern Hercules. To the left is sitting, you can't really see her poor head is gone, but this is Atalanta the Indomitable, who was actually, ironically, raised by Artemis as a youth. So, the story is twisted, it's a little soap opera-y. They party, they go out to kill the boar. Atalanta, a woman, is actually the first person to draw blood. She shoots the boar with an arrow, but the boar continues to kill some of the hunters, and Meleager actually is the one who delivers the final death stroke to the boar. Now, he brings the hide back to his father Oeneus and his mother Althea, and he gives the hide as a trophy to Atalanta, the one who killed the boar. Now, the other hunters in the party, including Meleager's brother and his uncle, so his mother's brother and his own brother, are made so jealous by the fact that the hide was given to a woman and not a man. And they become so enraged with Meleager that they essentially battle him, but Meleager kills them. He's a great skilled warrior. Now, as a result, his mother becomes so heartbroken that her own son has ravaged the family so that she throws this log that she had stolen from the three fates, obviously three sort of like oracles, you might say, of the mythological world. Then the fates had predicted that if this log were ever to be thrown on a fire, ever to be burned, Meleager would die. Meleager's life fell in balance with the log. So Althea throws the log into the fire, thus killing her son. It's twisted, but obviously in mythology it's not uncommon to see sort of parents killing their children, children killing their parents. So, here we go. Now, let's talk about some of the depiction going on here. So, Meleager is, as you can see, sort of in the parlance of our times, totally yoked. And he's strong, he's got this sword, and I actually think Hercules is holding the log here. And this is something that I am not quite sure on, but I want to check on it before tomorrow, obviously. But anyway, he's totally yoked, he's clean-shaven, he's got the hair, he looks like your perfect god. He's depicted as sort of all of these deities and mythological heroes are depicted. The most important part actually has to do with the fact that he's standing on a rock. And I don't know if you can see that, but this is the same way that Alexander the Great was portrayed in all of the depictions of Alexander the Great. He's always standing on a rock or standing on somebody's body, looking really, really triumphant and like a general. And obviously Alexander died at the age of 22. Now, the important thing is that this was made in 250 BC. Now, it was actually a copy, this sarcophagus, the carving, is actually a copy of a painting that was made famous 500 years earlier. Now wait, Paul, 500 years earlier, that's right around the time of the Alexander's Empire. It is. And that was right around the time 270, I believe, was when Alexander's Empire fell. And it was not uncommon to depict heroes or others like the great Alexander. So, that's pretty much all I have to talk about here. Mostly, what I learned mostly from this is that, I had always sort of assumed, as I said, that the Romans stuck to cremation. They didn't really care about the afterlife so much. So it was really cool for me to see sort of a celebratory funeral art that the Romans used.